Alright guys, here we're talking about episode 13 of season 9, The Walking Dead.
The dead just keep on walking.
The dead just keep walking. Things are happening. They're not it's not that this episode was slow.
No.
But it's like things happened that didn't really lead me to anywhere very happy.
And my notes are like shorter for this episode because
I don't even know if I took notes.
Well, I always take some notes, but like I'm in the business now of like because my notes used to be like, oh, there might be something going on there. Oh yeah, there's probably something going on. There's something going on, and now I just like so like where things ended up here, and like the two things that actually happened are very easy to summarize and like talk about.
I have one note.
Okay.
My note reads as such: "We're the highwaymen. We're your escorts to the fair." And then I wrote ... and we want to watch a movie.
Ma'am, with his hat and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of into that. And
are you? That's awesome.
A little bit because I'm like, that would be something that could sway somebody. It's been what? At least 9 years, if we don't count the jump in time, that nobody has probably seen, anything that was not, a play. That would just be like their buddy with a sock.
Well, and like no one's even doing plays, I think. Right?
No,
Everyone's
of course
too busy
not.
waiting for their
I
life.
said it's like a joke.
I know, and but his reaction of like, seriously? Like his whole thing, I was like, okay.
Well, because it felt real, because I'm like, that would be a response.
No, and like that's that same goofball from episodes and episodes and episodes ago, who was like starting mutinies and doing all that, right? That's that same stupid guy still around. They had to reuse an actor.
Well,
or whatever.
But honestly, it wouldn't matter what the movie is.
Exactly.
If you've because
we forget.
There's kids that have never seen one, and adults that haven't seen one in so long that you'd be just you'd watch a thing of commercials. You'd be like, this is it's so fantastic.
No, I know. It's like the opposite of how it is now when you're like bombarded with things. You're just like, wait, and like episodes ago, that's what was so real about Jerry being like, yo, my kids have never seen a movie. They're gonna be amazing and all that stuff. And you're like, yeah, that's awesome.
Well, this is something that I think. When I talk about just like the casual moviegoers about things, so like I watch a lot of movies. I watch like 1,000+ movies a year.
Someone say you have a sickness.
I have a sickness. So like I watch a lot of things. So things need to be of certain like calibers or have ideas or something that impresses or catches me. But if you watch like 2 movies a year, you're kind of like moving pictures.
Yeah, you're like amazed. I know.
This is crazy.
I've had the same conversations, and they're like, "What do you mean? What was bad about it?" And I'm like, "It wasn't good enough. I don't know what you want."
It's hard to even explain, and people just think you're like a crazy hater, and I'm like, no, there are so many things that are better than this.
And I'm like, well, if I want this, I'll watch that instead. If I want this, that did it better. If I want this, and they're like, what are you even talking about? What are you referring to? And I'm like, oh shit.
Exactly. So
never mind.
So this totally made sense to me. Where I was like, yes, oh my, like
I was afraid that you would think it was goofy, and the whole
it is in quotes. It is goofy, but it makes sense.
And we talk a lot about like don't trust those people. Those people are bad and all that stuff. And I'm kind of like, I feel like this. So like number one, I also liked it. I just enjoy it when they show up to save the day and like fucking cowboys and all that dumb shit. I actually like that. And like I like how the show is kind of shifting the like theme from like humans are the real monsters to like we are rebuilding society, and how is that working itself out?
I would have liked it a little better if it was a explanation of things that are happening, and maybe that happened off camera, but it was just kind of stated as we need your help to keep this road clear and get people safe passage, and then they end up just stopping zombies. So if they have not told them there are people dressed as zombies, that's rude.
That's rude.
Well, good, like hashtag you're gonna die.
No, and like,
but B, I think that could have been an us versus them moment. We're like we are happy to take you into this society. We need more people. We do not have the food to just give you or to buy you off here, but we can barter and trade, and we can survive together. There is somebody else trying to kill us, and if you can't survive, you're gonna die too because you need food from us already.
Exactly. No,
so I
think
that could have been a moment that might have been a little better to approach it with, and we could presume that happened off screen because I don't know if you would just send people to rush in to help and not give them all the artillery they need, being information.
Originally, the road was dangerous because of them. They like sent a ransom note or whatever, and Carol's like a grammatically correct note, and I liked that too. But originally they were like, okay, so
does that make you less dangerous?
I don't know what it makes you.
Like are only dumb people
educated
dangerous?
Psychopaths?
I feel like educated people are the most dangerous.
It was just a weird thing for her to know, where she's like, they used the correct there, or something like that. But like, originally they were like, okay, do the opposite of what you're doing. Instead of like stay on that road, but now just make sure everyone that travels on it is okay. If they're on the way, we offer you a safe passage to the kingdom. Like, oh shit, like it's this awesome thing. But yes, like unless they gave them the whole lowdown, I mean, we are building, I assume towards something where there's a conflict. So if they don't know, that's going to be very awkward. You definitely should have told them.
No, we're in
what's going on.
Short time. There'll be a delicious conflict that will probably kill a lot of people.
Yeah, so it's good. We can clean up all these extra characters.
Well, we've been gaining so many new ones. Yes. We're probably going to lose a lot of I've seen you a lot before.
Exactly.
I was actually very surprised the old couple didn't die in this episode.
I know.
Because they said something along the lines of I think you're good parents to this child. You're right. We could raise this kid. I'm like, well, that's a death sentence. You're going to die now.
Well, I think he's already found his home, and I'm like, no, you did, and then something happened. Yeah.
I almost even thought the old guy got bit when he was on the ground, but I guess he did not.
No.
Or he's hiding it, and next episode he'll turn. We'll see.
Let's not do that again. I don't know. So, to our earlier point, so that it all fits together perfectly, right? Part of my issue with The Walking Dead in general is that we're not doing, something new, so that's why the Highwaymen, in isolation, I do think is, goofy and, not good, but I really appreciate that it's something different and interesting. And, and they're not showing that guy making eyebrows and playing, foreboding music, he's waiting for his chance. He's just ma'am, with his, stupid hat, and I'm like, okay, wait, this is okay. It's working.
I thought it was an interesting idea that they quickly squandered, not doing it effectively when they were in amongst the mannequins. I was like, that is a great way of hiding your numbers. One of you should move and the rest of you should not, because that's dumb. They were already surrounded anyway and would have lost, but I think they tipped their hand a little early, saying this is how many of us there are. That was a mistake. I thought another mistake was the idea that I don't know if the group has a name. The deaf ladies group that came with them.
I don't know.
That they had a storage locker of food under the floorboards of that place. We've been there before. Okay.
That's very convenient.
You seem to just travel the countryside, not necessarily circling back. That's a lot of food and supplies that you just left.
Yeah.
That's did that happen? What? I would have been totally okay with, look what I found. That would have been okay.
This must have been someone's stockpile.
Even how she got it. And I guess the table was on top of it, so that was there to hide it. But it looked like she was moving the table to be I could barricade with this, and tripped a little bit, and she's like, there's food. And so that's how I took it, but that's not exactly what happened.
I totally blacked out and did not retain that part or whatever.
There was gallons of water, hundreds of protein bars.
Before we move on from the first point, because then we're totally done. I think,
sure.
Is the Highwaymen with the thing. What were you saying? Yeah, so the actual conflict of how they meet them and get in with them or something like that. I almost would have wanted there to be a really pig-headed leader who was no, we take what what we want, and then that guy's whoa, wait a minute, a movie, and there's a three-way triangular conflict, and maybe that guy dies, and then he's well, I'm the boss now. You said you had a movie, and it's this whole stupid thing or whatever.
That could have been redeeming too for that character.
Yeah, because Carol should be well, I'm not going to trust you. And he's we've had our differences in the past, but I think we can do something.
Carol has done a 180 on her whole thing. She is now super trusting.
She's no longer zero tolerance.
Yeah. And that love changes people. I understand that. That's a thing.
You grow your hair, you start being trusting.
Yeah, she's trusting.
Yeah.
But I really liked Badass Carol a lot. I liked the Badass Carol Daryl combo. Yeah. And then once they didn't kill that kid running away from them for stealing their food or whatever, she started to go downhill for me.
Sure.
But by old school Carol, where she's I'm banished and I have guns in my sleeves and shit. I was oh yeah. Get some.
No,
but not anymore.
It's a weird thing.
She's older, wiser, hair longer.
It is. Yeah, I know. It's probably good. It's probably fine. I wonder about those sort of things.
It's probably better as a leader to be like she is now.
Yes.
And but again, she very easily could have got them all killed just now. Why don't we talk to them? Mows them all. They had guns. They could have killed them all.
Exactly.
And the way they stated they have guns made me think that the kingdom doesn't have any guns.
That's the other point. Yeah, is finally we're getting clearer indications of stuff, which we I so desperately need that because I think 10 episodes ago, when the whole we're making bullets and everyone has a gun and we're shipping the guns and you're getting the ammo for the guns and all that stuff, I was a gun should be like a nuclear weapon. It's been so many years. Bullets are gone. Guns are being damaged.
But seemingly the ability to make guns or bullets has to have stopped as well.
I guess, yeah, which is crazy.
The working guns would just then have that much more bullets. They would be okay, my one working automatic gun mows down all of these zombies. Reload me. It would be 6 dudes dudes on clip patrol just handing you guns or handing you bullets. So I don't understand it, and I don't know if they're going to ever go into what that was. Maybe during the war between, like, you know,
well,
saving
I was going to say, so, like,
damaged.
we still have this whole thing looming of, like, I do think, I don't know what they're going to explain or not. I would love it if like, Rick and or Maggie were gone, but, like, we didn't know why yet. And, like, it was going to be, like, they died in, like, the great wars between the factions or something. And then they banned guns. They all got together and, like, burned them all in a big thing.
So, like, to recon what we already know happened to Rick, we wouldn't know about that. And the stuff we already don't know about Maggie would be this?
In, like, an alternate reality, I would love it. Because, Michonne keeps saying, like, I did what I had to do and all this stuff. And I'm like, are you talking about the stuff that we saw? Or are you talking about a new thing?
I would imagine something new.
That we're hinting at? Well, because the last time the show did this to me, they kept saying, like, oh, Eugene got us out of Sanctuary. Eugene's plan was so brilliant.
Yeah,
and then it turned out to be, like, nothing. So, like, I don't even know what the show was doing now or sort of.
And, like, it's not that guns don't exist. Like,
yes,
they give their youngest fucking member a gun, and are we to believe that she only had however many bullets are in that gun, and she wasted one shooting Negan's tire?
Shooting Negan in the bike?
And if there haven't been guns for, X amount of time, would she even know how valuable a gun is and a bullet not to waste it? Would you trust her with that? Like, why even,
No, and, like, so, like, I as a boring person, I would even enjoy if the show would explore this stuff more. Because, like, you can't even have target practice if you have very limited resources, right? So it becomes this weird situation, right? And then people would, like, want to... It's like a world that has magic, and people are dabbling. And it's like, you don't understand the power that you're wielding, or whatever. This like, device can just kill things far away. This is crazy. Like, kids that are growing up who, like, didn't watch movies and don't understand or whatever. Oh, it's amazing. There's so much depth there, and we're just going, like, I don't know.
But it would also be like, whenever you got a new toy as a child, there's no way you wouldn't pull the trigger once.
Yeah.
Just to be like, what happened?
Exactly.
What does it do? How damaging is it?
Like people would be watching people with guns. You haven't seen one in so long or whatever, and it's this mythical thing or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, no, this person has a gun. It'd be like this huge thing. It'd be like in Britain.
Well, you would just hear a bang and someone would drop dead. Oh!
He's got his boomstick. Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad, but it would still be like a crazy thing to see.
Would it not be that bad if you? Because there's no reason for even stories to be told about guns.
If you had literally never even seen it. Yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know what that was.
But that's what was so awesome about Carol, like teaching those kids. Remember, like many seasons ago.
Yes.
She was like, I'm gonna show them whatever, and then like was secretly being like, okay, this is a knife. This is how you hold it. You got to aim for this. And she was like teaching them about like stuff like that. Because that should be how it like goes. You have to learn about anatomy. You have to learn basic field medicine. You have to learn what plants are safe to eat. You have to learn
wipe with.
like basic survival stuff and all those things. I'd watch that show. That show sounds awesome.
Yeah. So back to this episode.
But what's this show about?
So their plan, Daryl, in the last episode, we saw them, drop their masks and running off into the woods. They come across an apartment in this one, and their plan is to go up into this apartment, the high grounded, so they can't be attacked by the zombies. Only the people will be able to get to them, and that's better for some reason. Like it seemed to me that if they didn't even acknowledge, like, by shooting that zombie, they probably would not even have gotten to that apartment.
Would have just walked by.
I don't know that that's not better. Because, again, these are superheroes of The Walking Dead, and of course they're going to all, like, live and kill everything that moves. But in a real-world scenario here, I think being in the open world and people not being monster trackers like we see them act like, if you ran off in any direction, you'd probably get away.
And we've already seen that, like, if you shoot one of the skin jobs in like the knee, they become like a bright target for their whole herd. So like it's not even like they have a huge advantage by like steering a herd into you or something like that.
No,
that's like a small group. Like the herds are dangerous to like settlements and like places, not to like people. You just like walk over there.
Well, and they're dangerous in the sense that you can hide amongst them and be able to get to places without getting shot from a distance. Yes. But for this particular thing, like, let's say, I guess they were smart. We had the shooting of windows to distract them and walk them away.
That was at the end, yeah.
I wonder what the plan was for these skin jockey dudes to get out. Let's say they went in there and killed everybody. There'd still be zombies like right up to the doors, and when they jumped over, I feel like you would look like a human again.
So that's the thing, right? Like, it doesn't. I don't want to harp on this like I do every time. So I will anyway, though, right? Like, I don't know how the zombie makes the judgment that you're a person or not. Because if it's not smell and it's not sound, right?
And can't they smell blood?
That was the whole thing. They used to have to cover themselves in like entrails, and it was like a video game where like that was like a bar that was slowly draining.
Well, that makes sense. If they're not
then,
treating
once it was
these skins at all,
Yeah.
I guess that would have a smell of zombie or whatever.
Yeah, but they're only wearing a mask. Like their whole body's not. Again, I don't want to go too deep, but like if there's like a glass thing in between you and the zombie goes and just keeps hitting the glass like over and over again. He like breaks his own nose. He just keeps hitting the glass.
Yeah,
like
they can detect the movement, obviously.
But like they're super dumb. They don't know like, wait, I have to go around or whatever. So why would they be able to tell like, no, sorry, that's a zombie. Never mind. Right? Like that's not how that. It's crazy to me. It's fun.
No, it is crazy.
Yeah.
But that happens anyway, and they come up. And what is Beta is the giant guy?
I fucking laughed out loud. I'm like, of course his name is Beta. Beta. That is so amazing.
He's the number 2 of this group. So
I
that
know.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's so funny.
He is a very large man.
He's a monster.
He is a monster. Daryl looked legitimately scared when fighting him, and understandably
I was scared for him. Yeah.
So like, there's a point where Daryl pulls out his knives, and that guy pulls out his knives, and his knives are like swords compared to Daryl's knives. And I'm like, well, that guy's bigger and stronger, but Daryl is quicker.
Yeah.
And knows the lay of the land because he's been here before. So.
And he like prepared the area.
Yeah, so he uses that to his advantage.
Yeah.
In the quickest ninja move ever, he hides like in the floor.
Yeah,
I'm like that could have gone so south because he could have just been like, okay, I know you're in there. Let me just light this on fire.
I was gonna say like now you're just trapped in the floor.
Yeah.
Nobody got him. I thought that it was even like well filmed and shot and all that stuff. The fight scene, like there's some goofy stuff leading up to it with like the different people and fighting and like sheets everywhere and stuff like that. And I'm like, did they set that up? Is that just how things look? It was like a weird like reminded me of Iron Fist Marvel when he goes to fight in like the ninja place, and you're like, okay, it's fine, whatever. That was fine because then once he's fighting with Beta, like crashing through drywall and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this feels like an action movie. This is all right. Now, and when he's hiding, like he starts coming up, and then they have Beta walking towards the tarps, and it's filmed in a way where for a few shots you're not sure who's facing what direction and like what's happening. So I was like, okay, that's really cool.
No, that was done
that's like well done. Yeah.
I like that Beta ran through the door holding a door, so that when he
when
shot, he didn't kill him.
Just sort of grabs the arm and goes, oh, fuck you, and goes in. Oh, he's a monster. He's a beast. It's wonderful.
He is definitely a beast.
Yes.
I wanted the difference. I think like my casual rewrite on this would have been. So like Daryl tackles him and like he falls down an elevator chute.
Yeah, he knocks him down. Yeah.
And to me, it shouldn't have picked up where he's alive. Like that was just a fact. Like he didn't die.
Oh no, I know.
To me, it shouldn't have picked up later with him like at the bottom of the shaft, a little bit of blood. It should have been like moments after he got knocked. Like it should have been just, like he hit the wall, bounced, and like caught himself on the side. And you should have seen like a hand right after Daryl was turning. Like so, like it could be he's closer to them for the next episode.
Okay.
And this episode, the next episode when you see him come out, he's at the bottom of the shaft. You don't see if there's any actually things he can grip to get out because you only saw like 3/4 of it. You didn't see the whole thing. So maybe this side has the track or whatever.
Right.
But that could potentially be a death sentence, like just being trapped in a shaft.
Yeah.
You don't know how bad the head injury was. He was hit hard enough that blood is out of the mask and onto the floor. So
yes, and it looks like his like teeth are knocked out.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I noticed, I was like, wait a minute. So I wrote down, Beta is in the shaft, he's not dead, and he's not happy.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, no, you're right. They're doing, a revenge thing here. So it's not just...
he's like Jason, where you're like, wait a minute, how far did you fall?
No, I know.
If you get shoved, even if you fell flat on your back, your head's whipping down. But more than likely, you fell, into the wall of the other side of the shaft and, onto your head or something.
Yeah.
But regardless, people have fallen from airplanes and lived, so, I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't know. It felt like for how that was set up, it didn't end in a beautiful payoff.
No, and it had a little bit of he was doing a little bit of a limp and type of thing.
I'm back!
And a little bit. So I'm like, okay. And he's a monster, so cinematic language is
he's a monster, so when a 400-pound guy falls, he falls harder. I'm just saying.
Well, he's got thick tendons or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. No, I know.
His heart is under stress just from being alive,
yeah.
and then he's fine.
Yeah.
I did like, though, those gigantic knives of his.
Yes, and he has gigantic knife holsters. Yeah, is the whole thing. He has a cool coat. He's a cool
his mask is like Kane's mask, where it just comes down over the nose and around the mouth.
Yeah, so his beard is out.
His beard's out. His gold teeth show.
Oh, his gold teeth.
Yeah, you haven't noticed?
I didn't notice that.
He has 3 gold teeth.
I noticed that he was missing teeth at the end. I thought
maybe he was missing the gold teeth,
or his mouth was just so bloody that it was obscuring.
Maybe the gold was reflecting the wall and it looked toothless. Again, I didn't catch it, but I'm not saying it didn't happen.
That's interesting.
We'll
we'll
know
see
next
obviously
time,
next
maybe.
time. So I assume he's going to get out. Like,
Yeah.
if he doesn't get out, that's very avant-garde and like interesting or something like that. He has to like try to get out, and like zombies get into where he is somehow because they're on the ground floor or wherever it is, and then he like ends up dying to zombies, and it's this like fucking poetic thing.
I don't think he'll die to zombies.
Yeah.
But if he is bloody, I wonder, like, can they smell blood? Like, what is this deal? I guess that
so
wouldn't necessarily matter, because if you just ripped someone apart, you'd be covered in blood anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, and I was thinking about that too, and like we've been watching this show for like 100 years, and I'm like, some zombies don't have eyes, some zombies don't have a nose, and like if I go super science, I'm like, your nose like dries out and like wouldn't work if you were like rotting or something like that. So like, like there's no level of science where I can have it make sense no matter what way I try.
There's almost no level of science that explains zombies
just in the first place
being able to just how they bite.
Oh god,
we watch zombies rip apart a tiger, and you're like, wait a minute, how the fuck would that work? Because if I went to bite a tiger, it would not really matter.
Yeah.
Like, not that I couldn't bite it and it be infected. I could probably break the skin. But this is a moving tiger, and I somehow ripped it apart with my bare hands.
Yeah.
What? I could pinch you pretty hard. Like, this is like, St. Patrick's Day, bitch. But, like,
the tiger would be like, quit it.
I could not rip. A cat has, like, really flexible skin, too. Like, that would not happen.
Yeah.
But it did. So somehow, when you become a zombie, you also become, like, super strong with, like jaws of a piranha.
Yeah,
and your fingers that just like cut through skin like Jello.
Right, like I like the explanation of like, well, they don't stop when something hurts them or like it feels weird. They just
that's
go in
all
with
well
their
and
power
good, but it does not. You can't go beyond human means.
I know.
We have in general flat teeth that are not made for tearing.
Yeah.
So,
and you would think, like, especially with the way some of the zombies look. This is like criticism we could have had after episode 1, though. It's very general.
it was something that was.
But you would have thought, like,
weighing on me.
They go to bite somewhere, depending on where they bite, and there's just like a pile of teeth that fall out of their mouth.
Yeah. What made me think about this was when they immortalized the tiger. There's like a wooden or paper mache or something tiger, and at first I was like, did they stuff that tiger? And then I was like, that tiger got destroyed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that tiger got destroyed. What the fuck?
No, that was during some of like the dark times of the show when like literally what is the tiger like? What's
Raja, Simba, Sala, Hala.
One of those lion or tiger names.
Yeah.
From a thing. I used to know it. But it like comes and saves the day, and then gets like overwhelmed by zombies, right, or whatever. Yeah. No, I don't. I would have, if we had infinite money, the tiger should have fallen off of something into like those things that are
spike.
like things that are just wall to wall zombies. And then
where it couldn't. Yeah.
And it like thrashes around, but then like a bunch of them get knocked over and like bang it, across each other, and then slowly it's just more and more, and then it can't do it or whatever. But there were like 5 zombies that killed her or something like that.
And like cornered and grabbed. I'm like, it's a cat. It's hard to grab a dog that knows you, let alone like a tiger.
And that was in like a swamp, and there was like radioactive material. They were saying that like, oh, these zombies are like, oh no, this show has taken us to some places.
Yeah,
this has happened.
So what else happens?
So there's more to do in that little thing. We kind of just hit the main points because like the biggest,
like Henry gets stabbed.
I was gonna say,
was it by the stick he made for the girl? Because he got like speared. And I'm like, did that zombie come in with a spear? I don't remember that.
I might have known it until you suggested something, and now whatever you said is all that's in my head. I thought what I thought happened was that the one that he knocked out got back up and like got him with something.
I thought it was a different one, but it's certainly possible it was the same one. I wasn't tracking it too hard. All I know is that like the whole, I'll try not to kill them. I'm like, that's a mistake.
No, that's such a mistake.
Because
and he paid for that mistake.
And all movies and TV don't treat knocking out the way like knocking out works.
Yeah,
if you're like out for more than a few seconds, you're like permanently brain damaged.
Yeah, or you could just die.
Yes.
But that's it's a movie thing, but yes.
And the idea of any time you're like, he's a child, for one. He's not like a full-grown-ass adult.
True.
Fighting by pulling your punches versus people that want to kill you using lethal weapons, you're not going to win.
Crazy people.
And that stab he got in his thigh, while not necessarily a life-threatening wound, is certainly a life-threatening wound in the apocalypse.
No, it's bleeding a lot.
Infection and blood and zombies, you're slower. It could be a death sentence.
It is bleeding a lot, and they have to travel immediately. Like, it is a very bad. And like, again, depending on what the show decides to do, that could be treated as like a major wound or like a not major wound. People get shot. Remember when Rick got shot in the kidney and he's like, I'm still kind of pissed off about that. It was just like nothing.
Like it was nothing. When we
But
saw
we'll
the
see what they wanna
apartment
do
though
here.
in the first place here, I was
Yeah.
like, an apartment would be a very good place to hold up. I don't know
Segmented and
why.
stuff,
I don't
yeah.
know why they wouldn't go for things like this. And then like because they manufactured a lot of the walls around Alexandria. They weren't there beforehand.
Right.
So it would make sense to take over like a town like that. Maybe make rope bridges between the different buildings. Grow farmland on top of the roofs.
Yeah, like never have to leave.
Yeah.
And then like when you do, they can clear out the perimeter and then build up type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that.
Like the Ewok village.
Oh, it's like Ewok Zombie Village.
Oh, it just makes sense. You can't get attacked from like something that can't climb.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that also was a nice the protection device against humans because they'd have to climb, and you could be like, oh, I'm above.
Well, and you could naturally see out, and you could probably
Sure.
manage the perimeter, right? You could still have a wall, and you could have whatever, but then you could like sleep and not be like, oh, there'll be a zombie like in my face,
Yeah.
right? That would be nice. Just build your house on stilts.
Well, because
What are you doing, guys?
they did fully block the stairwells, but they unblocked the stairwells to let the humans up.
Yes.
If you fully blocked the stairwells and did everything with an elevator system, some sort of counterlever thing, you would be like totally safe.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, zombies shouldn't be able to climb ladders. Like, eventually, there'd be so many corpses laying on top of each other that they could. But you're, patrolling and you can manage that sort
Yeah,
of
you
thing.
keep burning them.
It shouldn't happen like in the middle of the night while everyone's asleep. No, I agree. I guess the answer is like money. I think.
Yeah.
With the show, because you would think people would do that. There were those people that they met when Beth died that were living in like buildings. That was a thing.
It seems like there'd be so many, like, I don't understand, when you cut back to Alexandria and stuff, it's like, we have to rebuild the church, and then I'm like, there are so many buildings.
Yeah.
And I understand wanting to be inside the walls you already have existing,
Yes.
but I'm sure, like the ones they came across today, the highwaymen, they had, like, it was like a power or water treatment plant or something.
Yeah,
like,
they
it
were
was
somewhere.
beautifully fenced off. I was like, okay, there are other facilities.
Oh, and like just drive around the world. There's a bunch of stuff. And there's
Yeah.
probably cool looking stuff that you wouldn't have access to normally that would make a good shelter of some sort.
Most definitely, and there's probably things like oh, the hydroponic indoor gardens that
Yeah.
like exist. Like, why not live in one of those?
Yeah, you'd be out looking for resources.
Yeah.
I would have like big tarps funneling off into fish tanks, funneling off into things and all that stuff. We should do that. We should do the apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm set.
There's more love too.
What do we got?
Henry and
Lydia,
Lydia.
who still appears to have a little bit of makeup on, and
You
yeah,
hate this.
and they're in love now.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, I'll go off alone with you. Sure. How
Yeah.
long would you last?
Oh, and the whole okay, so like that leads into the actual ending when Daryl like feeds his line back to him of like there's a whole world out there or whatever. I'm like, are the four of you gonna go live like in a hut? Is that
Well,
what you're doing?
Daryl
What the fuck are you
could.
talking about? Yes, but what are we
And,
talking about? He's gonna fall in love with a deaf girl because they're bonding over their
Well,
combat
Hang
prowess,
on.
and then it's
So
gonna be
this is how it works.
the Brady Bunch now.
Imagine having never seen a movie for so long, right? And you're like, movies,
Got
dude.
it.
I'm so in. I'll do
Uh-huh.
whatever you want, movie. There's also limited females
I
and
know.
matches in general, so people that aren't necessarily 100% compatible are forming bonds now because there are limited options. This is the only girl that's seemingly ever shown interest in Henry, so Henry's like, all right, I love this girl, she's mine.
Henry, I completely
Hang on.
understand. Okay.
And then Daryl.
Daryl seems happy in the woods with his dog.
But
just living
Daryl
his
also
life.
seems happy with anybody. Like, Daryl seems like such a dude where he needs so little.
He's an
and
affable
he's
dude.
so adaptable that he's like, yeah, Beth, I think me and you could be together. Yeah, Carol, I think me and you could be together. Yeah, fucking whoever the hell this new girl's name is, we could be together.
Well, I didn't get any actual romantic vibes.
No,
from
but
what
I'm
they
just
did
saying,
here, yeah.
if it did happen,
Yes.
I would be like, yeah, that's just because Daryl's this like easy breezy, beautiful cover girl hun, and he could do whatever he wants.
Maybe he's born with it. No,
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I could. So like in my head, I'm like immediately picturing like two kids and Daryl and Henry hunting, and the two women are at home, and everyone speaks sign language, and they're all doing their thing and all that stuff. It's this beautiful
Like knowing sign language.
that should be Fear
huge
the Walking
advantage.
Dead, yeah.
Being deaf.
huge disadvantage.
Huge disadvantage.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, but she has a notepad, and she could teach him sign language. This whole thing.
What's annoying is that her and the notepad is kind of like the fuck you of a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, okay, the conversation's over and you just won. And hers is like whatever she says and then walks away. It's like, what are you gonna do? Scream it at the back of her head? You can't. She won't hear you. She got the last word, no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's annoying. That's very annoying.
I would also part of me wanted her to be flipping through old pages to reuse phrases.
I was thinking, how many notebooks does she have?
I
And then I
know.
was also thinking, I guess that's something that probably wasn't looted a lot of. It's probably in every stationery store, so she
Yeah.
probably doesn't have trouble getting it. My thing would be like, pens often die on me. I'm like, how many pens does she have?
I think it's a pencil.
Is it a pencil? That's
I think
even
it's
more
a pencil.
dangerous.
Oh, lead poisoning. You don't
Oh,
want to
that
do
is
that.
tips breaking
I
constantly.
know.
You're constantly whittling and
Yeah,
sharpening.
yeah. I figured that's like safer or like better because you can just whittle it to like a dull point and write
Yeah.
real quick. Just writing like 3 words usually or something like that.
I would just think in the hustle bustle
happened
apocalyptic
there?
lifestyle, how often would a tip break
Yeah.
and would make you have to sharpen rather than a pen, which is based on how long either you've had it in general from drying out or how much you've written. I feel like a pen would last longer in the apocalypse, but I also
all the
don't
pens
know.
are dried out.
Maybe
I'm such a nerd. Like,
India ink and a quill. I don't know.
no, like I'm such a nerd, literally. Like we started thinking about that, and I'm like, yeah, remember that episode where like Eugene had like written stuff and it was on like weird paper and stuff like that?
Yeah,
like
papyrus.
yeah, but like there should be looting of like things and taking notes, and I'm so big on maps. They should be making special maps and doing stuff that like reflect like the current world. One of the characters should be like a map maker who used to do
There's
some.
3 of those in the world.
No,
It
no,
would have
no.
to be like an
No, 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 no.
architect or something.
Not
like
a guy
someone that could apply their skills.
Not the guy who used to be a map maker, a guy who is now a map maker in like this world. Like he used to play Dungeons and Dragons.
I was
and he's
that was
he's
where
like
my
real,
mind
and
actually
he's like
just went.
really good at it, and he's like using like the grid or something like that. Eugene could have like naturally fit into that character because literally there should be some stupid thing. Oh, he stole my map. Or it's like, oh, that map's really valuable. It has all of our stockpiles, marked. Like there could be a whole plot line about that. Man, I'm such a nerd. I know. That's all I do now is talk about a show that I'm not watching because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm sure Beta gets out, goes back, Alpha's like, you failed me, and all this stuff happens, and then, like, because it's personal, I want revenge, and she's like, I need my daughter back, and then they are going to go to wherever they're going to go, and even if Daryl and crew want to go off to be nowhere, they're going to end up at one of the places, probably the fair, or people from the fair are going to go look for them, right?
They'll stop at Alexandria first because that's the first place they have
to get
healed.
patched up. Oh, no,
and then
you're right.
if they do go to the fair, I don't even know. I think they might split because Daryl knows now, like, if they get caught with that girl anywhere near one of these things.
Well, that's his
it's gonna bring down
motivation,
a
right?
war.
He's like, well, I don't want to bring her
But
back to a settlement.
the idea of not being there doesn't mean she's not there. So that doesn't necessarily stop them from going back to the settlement they already have been to and be like, give me my daughter. She's not here. Fucking war. Do you think Beta will do something? Because, like, I feel like he needs to appease her somehow, like self-mutilation or something, because
That's deep.
he
I like
failed.
That. Sure. It's funny you say that. I don't know if the show has coded all that into their relationship, but I was thinking along a similar. That's why I brought it up. He's there's going to be some sort of like you failed me, and then he has to like make it like Skeletor and Evil Lynn, or it has to be some weird overt like thing that they're going to do. I feel that coming. I like agree. Something weird.
Or he just doesn't go back yet because he's still on the mission.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to be the thing. Not that I've even gotten this from him either. Maybe I'm just assuming too much from like other media. But I feel like now he's like, this is personal. I'm like consumed with this revenge, and I'm going to go off, and like that'll be his downfall somehow. That he's like so tunnel visioned in. Maybe he has like a disagreement with Alpha because he's like, no, he dies or something like that, and has to do something. Yeah, there'll be something happening.
We'll certainly see soon.
Yeah, the clock's ticking.
Clock is ticking.
We got 14, 15, and 16 if this season works out the same way.
We're getting down there. Hopefully some amazing cliffhanger last episode.
Oh, yeah.
But that's,
forcing us to watch season 10.
That's all speculation. Is there anything else to touch on this
That's
episode?
good.
I think that's about everything. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about this episode. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.